Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton for EMS Now. I'm here at Productronica 2011 and we're joined by a very distinguished panel today to talk about the topic of East meets West, the kind of cultural and business differences between these regions and how it impacts not just on these guys' businesses but on their customers as well. Let me introduce the panel first of all. From the end we've got Peland Koh from DEK. Peland's been part of the DEK organization in Asia for a long time, but is now actually running the global organization on electronic assembly. WK Lee from ASMPT. WK and his business recently acquired C-Place, so he's now running a business that's not just in Asia, but is everywhere in the world, but has a substantial manufacturing and development facility here in Germany. Bob Black, many of you know, Bob is president of Juki in the US and vice president, director.
Executive operating officer.
Executive operating officer is up in the dizzy heights of Juki in Japan, so is very much bringing those two differing cultures together. So first of all, I just want to run through the panel and get a feel for what are the main differences, but where do you see the synergies of these different areas coming together? I know we've talked about manufacturing in Asia and engineering in Europe and the US and different things. If I start with you, Peland, coming from an Asian perspective, how do you see that working internationally and how do you bring all the parts of the global jigsaw puzzle together?
Yeah, what I'm seeing is really in Asia, for myself, I'm able to get close to our existing customers. And today, because of the center of gravity have actually shifted towards China for our sort of business, and that actually have led into we being in the Asia have the opportunities to see some of our customers firsthand what they are running, and allow me to actually feed it back to the factory back in UK in terms of engineering developments.
Okay, and WK, from your point of view, running a very successful business for a long time in Asia. Now you've got a business that's got a large European footprint. How does that feel? What challenges has that thrown out to you?
Well, I think as you point out, first of all, there's a cultural difference. So there's differences between the Western people and the Eastern people. Okay, but I think on one hand it's different. On the other hand, actually, it represents opportunities. You know, so I think when we can successfully group people together, bring people together, I think this combination is very powerful. People can complement one each other, can supplement these weaknesses. Enhance the strength.
Yeah. Okay. And from your point of view, Bob, Japanese culture again is different to much of the other Asian culture in the way they do business. And the US very different to Europe as well. You've got all those crashing together, hopefully successfully. How does that work, and how do you, as an executive, make sure everybody's speaking the same language?
Well,
business-wise,
I've worked with Juki Corporation for a long time, almost 30 years, and we have a basic fundamental rule. And that is, in Japan we do things the Japanese way, in America we do things the American way, and in Europe we do things the European way. And I think we can share different values, and we certainly can respect different values, but we have to deal with our customers in the culture where they are and in the way they expect to be dealt with. And one of the great things I think about working with Juki and being the only non-Japanese executive in the history of the company is that they have a good deal of respect for the other cultures around the world, and that lets us all work together pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, that's impressive. And just coming back to you for a moment, WK, what do you see as the key skills in Asia and the key skills, different skills in Europe that you're able to bring together with the acquisition you've made?
Well, I think you see the European culture, people are more precise, so people are more in their thinking, in their plan, are more systematic. Okay, you start with people start with a good pen and execute the pen step by step.
Yeah.
Whereas in Asia, I think the strength for people in Asia is the flexibility.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I think they may start to make the first step before a very concrete pen coming out. Okay, so I would say good and bad. You know, good thing is this flexibility brings to I would say fast execution. You know, so flexibility. But on the other hand, well, a lack of the precision. You know, so we like to see, or we start to see in the German team. You know? So I think combining these two is interesting, in my opinion. Yeah,
it's exciting as well, isn't it? As those come together, and you see the collaboration between the different departments. Peland, you have manufacturing in China, you have manufacturing here, and support everywhere in the world. When we talk to the EMS guys and the OEMs, they're talking about having platforms that work everywhere in the world. How important is it to be able to support them everywhere in the world, but more importantly to have that local support with the right cultural approach?
Yes, you're right to say that. A lot of our customers today actually do want to have the abilities to be portable whenever they move their machines around. For us, we have been talking about more global DEK for a long time.
Yeah.
And today we are present in 20 countries with 25 nationalities working within our organizations. In China specifically, we invested with the manufacturing capabilities over there. This is to allow us to, first of all, understand the needs and subsequently develop the products for our customers. And that would allow them to be portable. And in Asia specifically, the manufacturing environment are much more harsh in terms of the pace that they are running. So we get to see some of this, and we benefited from our presence in China.
Yeah, so there's quite a mix there. And Bob, in terms of, we're at a show in Munich, and we see you at shows all around the world. In terms of what the customers want, the customers' expectations, to me, like 5 years ago, we could see a very strong differentiation between what was required here in Germany and what was required at NEPCON Shanghai. Shanghai feels almost European in terms of its high mix stuff these days. Are you seeing a change in approach in the way we have to approach markets?
Yes, capital is expensive for any company in manufacturing, and I think the customers want to see, first of all, good quality equipment that will last a long time and run at a high uptime. They also want to see some flexibility, so if the contract they're working on this week goes away, they can convert the line and be able to be running a completely different product maybe the next month. And so as a result, that puts pressure on us as equipment manufacturers to be able to make equipment that's flexible enough to be reconfigured. That, and of course, customers are demanding consistent and better service. And one of the things I've been doing the last couple of years is standardizing the training program and certification for all our service engineers worldwide. Regardless of what culture they work in, they have to pass the same courses and they have to have the same tests. And trying to make sure that whether you're in Tierra del Fuego, Argentina, whether you're in China or whether you're in Europe, you can expect to receive the same level of support.
Yeah, that's important. And WK, coming to you, the products and the Challenge Cup that you're promoting here, that's all about flexibility. And I talked to a couple of tier 1 contract manufacturers about that kind of flexibility. And for them, it's an even bigger picture. It's not just being able to stop and change the line, it's being able to move stuff from line to line. But specifically on the line, it just seems to be all about pulse rate at the moment. Don't stop that line, keep it rolling. Is that true everywhere in the world, or is that something that's making German contract manufacturers competitive?
In my opinion, it's generally in over the whole world. Yes, I think for high volume manufacturers, maybe their requirements are different from the low volume high mix manufacturers. But at the end, with the globalization, in my opinion, at the end, it's only a few companies really involved in high volume manufacturing. A lot of the customers will be low volume, high mix. I think this is the key. This is the majority of our customers. So I think in order for any one of us to be successful, I think the machine has to be flexible enough, to cater for the different needs. cater for the different culture, different operating environment. I think that's the only way to survive.
Yeah, but it seems to me that you guys are making such great kit. It's so flexible, it's robust, it protects the client's investment. What makes them buy more, particularly in a mature market like Germany? Is it all about process enhancement? Is it about add-ons, or are there opportunities to bring through new platforms? What do you think there, Peland? It's a challenging market.
I would say that very much with respect to the technology that is driving towards miniaturizations, and that therefore become a critical part of processes, particularly in respect to screen printing. Although some may say that the screen printing technologies is just as simple as whack whack. You do the job. However, it's more to that.
So, last question that I'm going to ask all three of you, and probably the most difficult question. You've all got a great bird's eye view of what's going on in the market throughout the world. Firstly, I know next year is going to be really hard to predict, and someone said fog coming into Munich and fog in the industry, so it's really hard to see forward. But perhaps more importantly, where are you guys going to be investing where you haven't invested before? You mentioned Argentina. Where are you going to be investing for the next part of your global footprint? Perhaps I can start with you on that one, Bob.
Well, wherever the customer demands we go.
I mean, but you've got to be there first.
No, you don't have to be there first, but you've got to be there simultaneously. Our customers are looking, as we see in China, moving west, looking for lower labor costs, I'm sure there are new countries that will be opening up still in the search for that. So we have to be flexible enough to follow the customer and support where they want to go. I mean, good example was a few years ago, Intel decided to go to Costa Rica, so we had to set up a service center in Costa Rica. I mean, so
and you have
the
to be
customer
agile.
Dictates that.
And you have to be agile and fast to do it.
I fully agree with Bob. I think for us, we have to follow the customer. They make the decision. They go to a new country to invest. We have no choice.
You're right there behind them.
Just follow.
And Peland, any regions like South America, we're hearing lots of stuff about. Is that a slow burner, or is that something that's coming through quite fast?
At this moment, I see that South America, particularly Brazil, may be a potential uprising opportunity for investment into that area. Other than that, I support the other two gentlemen.
The other comments, absolutely. And to me, just to wrap up, it seems that flexibility is our watchword. It's not just about flexibility in our product. You've got to be incredibly flexible. It's a large global business. You've got to be ready to be wherever the customer's shaking things down tomorrow and differently next week. So those are the challenges. Guys, thanks for coming by to talk to me. Fascinating discussion, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show, and hope we can talk again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To get you here quickly, you should start from here and let us take care of everything in between. Flextronics SBS, innovative manufacturing services.